and I was like, I'm done. Bye. Hello everybody, I'm Yvette of Uniquely Yvette. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. The project we're doing this time is going to be this one. I have a deer here, I guess a male deer with the antlers, and then a little baby deer. I've got 3 trees, and I'm going to be cutting these out on the scroll saw, and I'm going to cut them out using this 1/4 inch plywood. I also have here these 3 pieces of wood. They are about a 1/2 inch thick and 1 inch wide. The length doesn't matter at this time because I'm going to be cutting the ends off at an angle. As soon as I figure out what that angle is, we'll do it. But first we'll move over to the scroll saw and cut these shapes out on the scroll saw. Alright, here are a cute little cutouts. I really love how the deer turned out. I am surprised that they came out so well. It's a miracle. Now, in addition to these pieces, we have these pieces of wood, and they are going to shape the scene. When I said I needed to figure out some angles, I meant up here and down the bottom. There's going to be a different angle at the base of the triangle than the one at the top, and I have to figure that out. But first of all, I want to let you know that this whole tree and this whole tree is not going to be in the scene. Part of it is going to be cut away so that it lays flat against the side of this triangle. So it'll cut off part of this tree like this. Then it'll meet here and cut off part of this one. I think this one is going to overlap, but I'm not sure yet. It's going to overlap a little bit like that, and then some of the side of it will be cut off like this. And the whole scene will have to fit within. Let me see if I can get something to hold this up for now. Okay. So the whole scene has to fit within the triangle. Okay, we have the frame made right here. It's not a perfect thing as far as the angles, but I'm not going to sweat it. So we're going to be painting these. I would rather stain them. Probably stain would work better. What would work even better is if I had different types of wood, because that's what my inspirational piece used, I think. Different types of wood, so it's different coloring. But since all I have is this cheap pine wood and these cheap paints, that's what we're going to use and hope this turns out okay. So I'm going to be using this chestnut for the frame, and for this tree and this buck, I'm going to be using this Lite Mocha for the biggest tree and the little baby deer. And then I'm going to use this Tuscan Red for the little tree. So now I'm going to glue together these pieces for the triangle. I'm using this clear Elmer's glue. I know it's not ideal for wood. It's better to use some wood glue, but because this is such a light, simple piece, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. At least I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let it dry for a few hours, or I might let it dry overnight just so it's secure. I don't want to manipulate the pieces that go inside too much if this wood is still, this glue is still wet. I realize since I can't see the wood grain on these pieces, because there is none on this plywood, I realize since I can't see it, it just looks so, the color just looks so flat. So I'm going to try to maybe add some other color. I'm adding Tuscan Red and see if that gives it a little more. Not this one, of course, because this one is already Tuscan Red. But I'm going to try adding it to these other things. I'll start with this. Honestly, y'all, I'm really disappointed in this project. It's not what I hoped it would be. It didn't turn out cute like I thought it was going to. I have, the inspiration pieces in my mind, and I think, oh, I can make that, in my own way, and it can turn out great. But then I find after a lot of hard work, it doesn't turn out right, and I don't like the way it looks. That's the case with this one. And it really stinks because like a month ago, I worked on over a week, maybe even 2 weeks, on a project that I ended up hating and threw it in the trash. It's actually over there. In fact, just for a little visual, I'll show you. Excuse the wood shavings. I threw it in my wood shaving pile. This was going to be a Halloween lantern, and I just ended up hating it because the things that were going inside just didn't turn out the way I hoped. And I went really fancy on this bad boy. I carved in a little bat up here, an indentation. I routed out here and then routed out the bat. And this is completely built from scratch. Just looking at it like this, you think, oh, that's got a lot of potential. And it does, but what I wanted inside, like a Halloween trick-or-treating scene, it didn't work out. So I just threw it in the garbage. And honestly, that's what I feel like doing with this project. But I'm showing you because it's been a couple weeks or more. I haven't checked the calendar because I just don't want to see it. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I'm just not going to scrap this one as well. So I'm building a base for it, and I've used this tape to make a circular base, and I'm going to put this little piece here on top of it like that, and then the triangle will sit on top of that. The concept is really cute. Like I said, my inspirational piece was really cute, but this is not turning out to be exactly the way I imagined, and I'm not pleased. So I'm just going to cut these out, paint them, and get them ready to put on the base and assemble everything. Y'all, another reason I have not been doing videos is because it is at the end of a season going into another. What I mean is end of the summer, end of the warmer weather into the cooler weather. I get inundated with all these certain type of bug. It's just one certain type of bug that just comes in here and comes to die in here in my workshop. Literally, I can be in here and kill like 50 of them, and still they keep coming in here. Not 50 all at once, but just everywhere. They're on the ceiling, on the floor, on the table, on my equipment. They're on the wall, in the window, and I can hear them buzzing to come in. I'll be filming, and then something comes buzzing past, trying to land on me, and I'm like screaming while I'm filming. I just cut those out so y'all don't see. And that happens at this time of year, like every year. So I have to figure out how to get this building more secure so they can't get in, because it's ridiculous. I have to spend most of my time killing the bugs, then I can work on the project. And it already take forever. I was just checking. It already takes me forever to work on a project. Like when I started this project, I killed them all off the window and everywhere I saw. Then I turned to my scroll saw and cut out my deer. And you saw how simple that deer is Where is it? You saw how simple this deer is, this tiny little one. I cut this out on the scroll saw, and when I turned back around, my window had multiple of those weird bugs on it, and I was like, I'm done, bye. So I left that deer right there and went back in the house. I mean, thank God they don't get in my house. So I don't know what to do. During this time, it's awful. It's hideous, and I just, anyway. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, even now. I'm working in here while it's chilly during the morning because they're not active when it's chilly. But as soon as it warms up, even in the wintertime, if it gets too warm in the wintertime, which it does here sometimes, if it gets too warm, they'll come back out again, but it's much, much less than at the end of the season. So that's what I've been dealing with, y'all. So please bear with me. Okay, this snowflake is what I want to show you. It's about, what, like an inch in size, 1 by 1 inch. And what I do is just basically rough sketch a line, like a cross or a plus and an X. The X or the cross, it doesn't matter which one, has a little longer spikes on it. So here I'm doing the X as a little longer on the edge, on the ends. See what I mean? Similar to this. And I just thicken up the edges so that it'll be easier for me to follow with my eye when I use the scroll saw to cut this out. Round the ends a little bit. Although when I cut it out, I didn't round the ends. I actually used the sandpaper to round the ends like this, you know. So I kind of cut it a little roughly. But, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, let's cut this out on the scroll saw. And this is 1/4 inch plywood. Okay, now that I have about 5 cut out, I don't think it can take more than 5. It might take only 4, but I thought I'd better just do 5 just to be on the safe side. And I'm just going to paint them white. Okay, let's start putting this together. Going to start with this biggest tree. And I'm going to use hot glue because I don't want the complications of trying to figure out how to get it all to stay in there with any other type of glue. So I'm just going to try to use it sparingly because this isn't a big deal. Now we're going to use this second biggest tree. We'll use the last tree. Let me see where it touches. Must be right there, I guess. Let's just go ahead and throw some glue there. Let's do baby right here. And do this one. Just let him touch on his backside. And now we'll start placing these stars. I mean, these, not stars, snowflakes, I think. Just hope for the best. I really don't think it has much surface area to touch the sides. No, that's okay. Let's go with this one here. We want one on this tree. Go with one there and one here, and there it is. That's that's that. But oh, I guess I have to now glue it to the base. But that's how it's looking. Now we'll go ahead and glue it to the base. Try to get it in the middle somehow. Well, since it's hot glue, that's it. If it's not in the middle, it's not going to be in the middle. But that's it. That's the finished product. So that's it. I hope you like this project. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a comment below. Tell me what you would have done differently. I know if I had this to do over, which I do, but I don't, and I'm not going to. If I did this again, I would use regular wood instead of plywood so that I can put watered down paint over the wood, or I would use a stain so that the wood grain would show. I think the beauty of this project could have been brought out with using regular wood with all the wood grain showing. I think that's what would have made, or what made the inspirational piece so nice. But I love the shape of the deer and with them among the trees. So anyway, if you like the project, give me a thumbs up, please. Give me a thumbs up for effort. Please. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.